Russell Wilson, Super Bowl champ, 9-time Pro Bowler, at one point, one of the most electric quarterbacks in football. But here's the big question trending right now. Has Russ actually played himself out of the Hall of Fame? That's the conversation after pretty bold comments from NFL legends. On Thursday Night Football, Tony Gonzalez didn't hold back. He said, I quote, "If there is somebody who played himself out of the Hall of Fame, it's Russell Wilson."
Do you think we've seen the last of Russell Wilson?
Honestly, I hope we have. And I say that because I just looking at him and his career, his legacy, like you talked about, if ever there was somebody who played himself out of a Hall of Fame, it's Russell Wilson.
Really?
And I say that because look at what's happened ever since he left Seattle. When he was in Seattle, he was the man. He was making these good plays. He won a Super Bowl, went to 2 of them. But as soon as he left there, he went to Denver, signed that big old deal. They paid him $39 million to leave.
Sitting right next to him, Richard Sherman, Russell's old teammate from Seattle. Sherman didn't just nod, he added fuel. He basically said Russ' success came because of the Legion of Boom defense, not because he carried the team.
I think you got to judge his career off when the Legion of Boom was there. He had a legendary defense, an all-time defense, and how much success.
I remember this is the same Sherman who's had a rocky history with Russ ever since their Super Bowl days. So of course, social media lit up instantly. Half of the fans are shouting fact, and the other half are like, come on, put some respect on Russ's name. So let's be real here. The criticism comes from what happened since Wilson left Seattle. In Denver, the hype was crazy. He was supposed to cook, instead a mess. The Broncos paid a fortune and Russ struggled badly his first year. Then came a brief stop in Pittsburgh where he never quite fit. And now, the New York Giants, 3 games in and he's already benched for rookie Jackson Dart. That's a far cry from the guy who was making magic throws in Seattle and winning playoff games. Critics see the decline and say he's killing his own legacy.
Richard Sherman leaves the Seahawks and is still a Pro Bowler All-Pro in San Fran. Bobby Wagner leaves the Seahawks and is still an All-Pro just last year in Washington. Earl Thomas leaves the Seahawks, and I think he had a good year in Baltimore, if I'm not mistaken, before retiring. Russell Wilson leaves the Seahawks and is 17-27 as a starter. It's not the Hall of really good for a long time.
But hold up, it's not all one-sided. RG3 came to Russell's defense big time. He called out Sherman and Gonzalez for disrespecting Russ. RG3 argument is simple. Russ already did enough, a Super Bowl ring and another Super Bowl appearance, nearly a decade of elite play. He compared it with Eli Manning, who still gets the Hall of Fame consideration because of what he did in his prime. And he's not wrong. Russ had over 40,000 passing yards, more than 300 touchdowns, one of the best passer ratings of his era. Those numbers don't just disappear because of a rough last few seasons. And what about Russ himself? After the benching, he told reporters,
I think for me personally, as well as I'm not done. I got so much belief in myself and know what I'm capable of. I believe I was able to show it, especially, on the road in Dallas and everything else. I know that can help this football team, if that comes up. But, I think also too, just for me mentally, just have the best practice. Have the best workout session in the morning, early in the morning. Getting here and having the same routine and just find every single way to get better. That's what you can control. And you control your attitude, you control your gratitude, and those two things, are important to me because I love the game, I love the process, and I respect it.
So we've got legends disagreeing, teammates calling him out, and fans debating if his career belongs in Canton. Here's where it gets interesting. Hall of Fame voting isn't about what you did last year. It's about your entire career. Russ had 8 straight winning seasons in Seattle. He was one of the most consistent quarterbacks in the league, and he gave the Seahawks their first Lombardi trophy. At his peak, he was considered the top 5 quarterbacks in the NFL. But the Hall of Fame also cares about longevity. That's the danger zone Russ is in right now. So here's the real debate. Do you judge Russ mainly on his Seattle career, the dominance, the ring, and the elite numbers? Or do we factor the Denver, Pittsburgh, and now the Giants? So that's what makes the conversation fascinating. He's straddling the line between Hall of Fame luck and Hall of Fame maybe. So what do you think? Is Russell Wilson still a Hall of Famer in your eyes? Or have these last few seasons erased his case? Drop your take in the comment. Don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe for more NFL debates, and hey, if Russ turns it around, we'll be right here to break it down. Thanks for watching, and I will catch you in the next one.